Okay, I am back with part 3 of the Island Takeover series on how to make this little Risk clone type game. And the goal for today is to finish what I started yesterday, and that is implement the combat so it actually works and it moves forward the color to the new tile and then leaves one behind and all that. Um, so let's just do a quick recap of what got done between last episode and this one, or since what happened in the last episode to this one. Um, we added all these split colors, so now purple is first player, green is second player. That was actually added before it because, as I explained, the video was kind of weird with when I recorded that, so it ended up getting cut out. But I added that, and then I added the highlighting so you can select one. So let's say I select. Right now, it only selects first player because the that's what you are. You're first player. So I mean, I'll change it eventually when it actually cycles through the turns, so it switches to second player and then second player picks. But for now, I'm just working as if it was first player, and hopefully it won't be too bad to change it. But you select your tile, so it has to be a purple one because purple is first. Can't select any of these, as you can see. And then you have to select an adjacent tile, and it actually checks if it's adjacent. I can't select any other green tiles that aren't adjacent, but I can select these, and I can't select like a secondary tile. So it has to be an adjacent tile, and I can only select one. And then I can also deselect both by just clicking that tile again. And that's what we have so far. So now what we want to do is compare the dice values of each one. The only problem with this that I'm foreseeing is that we might need to slow down the actual math, or at least make it look like it's slower when it does the animation, because as it works now, it'll basically just calculate this and move forward immediately if one side wins. But in the actual game, there's kind of like a display showing like the dice roll, and then it's like you rolled a 19 and the enemy rolled a 3, and then it moves. And I feel like that makes more sense from like a gameplay perspective, because you don't want to just click and then, oh yeah, I won. Okay, cool. Like I want to have some sort of display with it. But I don't know. We'll just get it implemented, and then we'll add the little fluff to it later. My voice later. My voice just went out so bad. Okay, so we need to add a button first. We're gonna add an attack button. The actual game, the original uh, Dice Wars game, actually just you select the other one and then it attacks immediately after that. However, I like the idea of having an attack button because you could set it up like this and then be like, I don't want to do that. So then you click off and you attack another one. So I think that's a better idea. We'll see though. Because then what I just do is you select the two, and then you press like a attack button in the corner, and then it attacks, and you see what happens. So let's add this button. I'm gonna declare it out here. We'll see if I need it though. Button attack. We'll see where I need it at. I'm just trying to think where I would want this. So what we have right now is we have the enemy object. So basically, when you go to attack, the enemy selected has to be true, and owner selected has to be true. And then we use selected and enemy, the two tile objects that we store, and we basically pull their values. This shouldn't be bad. Hopefully, we'll see. That's the goal, anyways. So I think I can just initialize it right here. We'll just do a basic button for now. We'll just say new button, or no, it's not called B. I always do B as just a attack equals new button attack. We'll add like a cool graphic and everything, but that's kind of it's kind of trivial. I don't know. It's not really something I feel like I need to show. Dot add attack. So then we'll just see. It should be in the top right corner or top left corner. For now, yeah. So we need to have that moved. How do we want to move this? I guess I have to kind of manually do it, which is annoying. You can't. The thing that's really annoying is you have to add it to a it's called an H box or a V box, in order to actually use the set alignment. Otherwise, it doesn't align according to the root as you would think it would, but you actually have to add it to an HBox, and then it aligns according to the size of the HBox, if that makes sense. Don't worry too hard about it, because I don't think I'm going to use it. So set translate x would be, so the whole height of it, or the whole, no, we're talking about the width. The whole width is 1280, so let's say maybe 950. We're going to kind of get it, we want to kind of have it in that corner, I think. Translate y, and then y we have, we can actually check exactly how far down we would have to go. So we would have, the y would be, no, that's the number. The tile would be 50 plus 52 times y, so let's pop up a calculator real quick. So let's say there is, there's 10 rows, right? I think there's 10 rows. I think 52 times 10 plus 75. I could have done that in my head. I don't know why I didn't. So we need to go maybe like 610 maybe. That should be give or take in the area. All right, that's close. Maybe we want to go 600. Our tiles actually also don't go all the way to the end, so 595 might be a little high. So maybe we want to go 580. Maybe that might be too. This is kind of a lot of guess and check. I wish there was a better way to do this. And then we'll shift it over a little more, maybe 1020. I don't know. We don't. This button is kind of temporary because again, I'm going to change the graphics so it looks better than just one of these basic buttons. But I want to have it at least in the right general area because it won't be. It'll be easy to just change it later. So attack.set on action. We want to do E, and then this formatting always kills me. Maybe we want to declare this somewhere else. I don't know. I guess it's fine here. This initialize root method is getting very out of hand, though. Like, I almost think I should actually... I think I might actually split a lot of these into different methods. Which, again, won't be that bad, but I think it'll make it look a little better when it's not all in this one. Anyways, so what do we want to do? We want to check if enemy selected and owner selected do something. So this is if you've selected both of them. Then what we do is okay, so this is going to be interesting. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Then we do owner dot well, we'll make a, let's make some method, maybe int p1 dice p2 dice. We'll just set these to 0 for now. I think you have to have them initialized in case they never get set or something. I don't know. I always just set it to 0 just to be safe. I need a cough. Okay. My voice is just going out. So now we have p1 dice. We could do p1 dice dot or equals owner dot. Why can I not get? Oh, it's selected. It's selected. Okay, I was gonna say selected dot get dice. Do we not have the dice value? We just have. I could do dot dice val, but let's actually just make a get method. Apparently, it's bad practice to do it like that. Public int get dice val. Return dice val. Is that what it is? I think it is, right? Yeah. So get dice val. p2 dice equals enemy dot get dice val. So now we have both of the dice values of the selected ones. So now we just need to compare. Or now we just need to randomly roll 6 times. Yeah, so six rolls basically. So how do we want to do that? mean, it's not complicated. I'm just trying to think of like the best way to do it. Um, Actually, no, 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 no. We don't even want to store P1 dice and P2 dice. We already have that value. We don't need it. We just want um, maybe like attack val equals 0, P2 attack val. Or no, we'll just say value because they're used both on defense and attack. So you don't want to. I don't want to call it attack because that's kind of not fitting. So P2 value and P1 value. So then what we want to do here is we want to say P1 val equals, and then we'll do like a method. We'll say dice roll. Dice roll selected dot get dice val. Yeah, that's good. I like that. P2 val P2 val equals dice roll enemy dot get dice val. Okay, and now we have to make a dice roll method. So we'll do public int dice roll int num dice. And then what we want to do is have a sum, int sum equals 0. And say, or maybe let's just have let's declare the sum as a global. So we don't have to I don't know if it actually does remake the value. That would seem weird, but just to be safe, we'll just declare int sum. Say sum equals 0. And then for int I equals 0, or int I equals 1 or 0. I want to do 0, I think. I is less than num dice. I plus plus. Then what we want to do is sum plus equals int math random times, I don't know, 10,000, whatever, mod 6 plus 1. And that should be it. That should literally be it, I think. And then return sum. And just to see, let's just test it. System.out.println P1 val plus P2 space P2 val. And I need to get rid of my other system.out.println because I think I have one somewhere and it's going to mess me up. System, there we go. Okay. So this should theoretically assign a random number. We'll see how this works. I guess technically, actually, what I could do, instead of using a for loop, I think I'll change that in a second. So attack does nothing. If I do 5 and 6, a 1 and 16. Okay, that is wrong. That is very wrong. There's no way you can get 1. So let's also print selected dot get dice val, and we'll do maybe like that, space enemy plus, or enemy dot dice get dice val, something like that. Let's see, because it should not be coming out with 1, but I know how to change that. I think we can do, so we have 1. Why is it passing 1 and 3 in? That's wrong. It's always 1 and 3. So it's passing 1 in. Why is it passing 1? So selected equals T. So it should just point straight to the tile that has been selected. Let's try print line T dot get dice val plus space selected dot get dice val. I think the other one was working, so I think it's just the selected that's messing up. 5 and 5. Now it's 5. What? Okay. Oh, did I... Was it 1? I think it actually was 1. I swear the one I clicked the first time was a 5, though. Now it's 5. That's not right. So... Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, so... click that. That doesn't do anything. So 5. Now it says 6 and 6. Why is it 6? Are these assigning the wrong values? Oh my god, I think it is. I feel like these might not be the right... I think it might be something to do with the way I'm deleting. If it's an uneven number of tiles. That shouldn't mess with it, though. Because each one stores their own tile information. So this is 4 now. So why is dice val 4? Am I multiplying it or something? So... trying to think what we want to do here. So each one has a dice value, right? And that should be it. I don't know why that's not. See, it's just picking like a random... So these are the right ones. But the one I'm saving is not actually correct. Two, 4, 6, 4. They have these values assigned to them, but I don't know why. That's so weird. So we want to do... Where's this at? So we have t.getSquare.set on mouse clicked. t.getDiceVal. Why is diceVal different than the output value? Whoops. Gotta get that back. Okay, so tile. What are we doing with the dice value? The only thing we do is we convert it to a string so that we can print it for the num dice, and that's it, though. Oh my god. This, okay, so these were correct, actually. So this is just dice val. What I was passing in, so dice val, was basically a completely different number than dice val. I was just doing a math.random again, like an idiot. Okay, so now we're right. Okay. Okay, I was really hoping I didn't make some catastrophic mistake. Okay, so now this should output the compared ones. So let's say we have a 3 and a 1. That rolled 11. The max a 3 can roll is 18, and the max a 1 can roll is a 6. So let's see if we can get one of those real quick. So one problem with this I'm seeing now is I think the way I did it as 3 different dice rolls doesn't make it very fair, because I think the way it picks a random number is basically between... That's 10. I haven't gotten anything higher than like 14. 16. There we go. So 17. I feel like it tries to pick in the middle every time, or give or take, like not like one of the very extremes. Maybe not, but I feel like that's how it works. So what I thought was a different way to do it, or better way to do it, the better way to do this, minus the for loop, is we actually just do sum plus equals, or sum, actually we'll just do sum equals. Well, we don't really even need this method anymore, to be honest. Well, actually, we don't even need the sum. We'll just do this. We'll just return it straight up. So return int math.random 6 times number of dice. So what that'll do is a number between, so we want to do 6 times num dice. So what this will return, let's say there is 4 dice. 6 times 4 is 24. So that means Math.random mod24 would return a value between 0 and 23, which would be a value, and then add 1, which is between 1 and... oh, we can't do that, though. So there is one problem with this method, and that's the plus, because that means you can basically just roll a 1 on 4 dice, which makes no sense. So actually, no, we can do 6 times num dice and 1 times num dice as well. No, that doesn't work either. Because what I'm trying to do here is set the bottom limit to be 4. But then if we do 6 times num dice, we would basically, and we add to it, let's say we roll a 24, then we would add 4 and get 28, which is impossible. So I'm trying to think if there's a way to set a lower limit. We just want to get values between 4 and 24. So we could do num dice minus something, maybe, like in this spot we can do so we can add 4, so maybe we could just actually just do plus 4. No, that doesn't make sense. So math, I mean, I could just keep it the way I had it, I guess. Let me just go back to that for now. So this works, but I don't like it. I want to see if there's a way to get it more efficient than having a for loop every time you want to make a dice roll. The way we could do that, so math.random equals 10,000. Or, okay, plus times 10,000. So if you do 6 times 4, then you would get mod 24. But then you could do plus 1, which means, so you'd have to have a lower limit, which I don't like. So let's just keep this for now. I'll think on it more, but I don't want to waste too much time on that. So let's just make sure that these are fair. We'll do 1v6. So that would lose, of course, in most cases. And now what we want to do is basically deselect both of them. So we want to do enemy equals null, selected equals null, enemy selected. Could we just have a reset? Maybe we want to just do a reset function like altogether, because I feel like I'm using this a lot. Like I'm using set fill green purple green purple. Maybe I want to make just one big reset function for everything. Player selected equals false. Actually, we'll return a boolean here. So, oh no, we can't. I guess we could compare them. We'll make another method to compare. Or, no, what is this? It's not player selected. It's just, is it just selected? I did, oh no, owner selected. So owner selected. So this basically says these are not selected anymore. And we could do let's do a color reset. Let's make a color reset method. Let's try it. Color reset enemy color reset selected, and we'll do a color reset method. So we'll do int or public void, I think, color reset tile t. And then what we'll do here is t.set, or if player, what did we do before when we checked if it was the same? T.get owner equals player. So t.get owner equals player. Oh, this is, my voice is like going, I meant to say oh, and then it just sounded like a whisper. And then we'll do t.set fill, or t.get square dot set fill to color dot purple. These are going to be all variables. Else t.getSquare.setFill to color dot green, was it? I think so. Oh, I need to cough again. I don't know why my voice is so bad right now. So what this will do is you pass in the tile and it should just color reset it. So let's just see if this works on this one, and then we'll swap out the other ones if we have to. Okay, so it does. That's cool. However, let's actually just do color reset T. Let's just use it for all of these. Hopefully this works. Oh no, was that the one where I set red? No, that was color reset. Okay. Color reset T. Color reset T. Color reset T. I think that should be good. Let's just make sure this works every time. Okay, so I don't have I forgot to swap that one. So where did I do that at? Ugh. Where did I do that at? Oh, we have to color reset enemy here, I think. There we go. And then I think this works fine. We'll see. We'll see if I find any bugs later on. And then this also resets the color. However, we don't want to do that quite yet, because we don't want to reset the color if it is a successful attack. If you're attacking and you're purple, you want to turn the other one into purple. So we need some way. Yeah, we need some way to move them forward, basically. So what we'll do here is, well, first of all, let's actually do a public int compare roles int p1 int p2. And then what we'll have here is we'll pass in their roles and say if p1 greater than p2, return 1. If p1 equals p2, return 0. If p2 greater than p2 greater than p1, return -1. So now we can get a value here. And then we'll say, let's see, we have p2 val here. No, we have, p2 val, and then we want to pass in, let's say, we'll just make an outcome object, or outcome, I guess, int outcome, I don't know, equals 0, I guess, to start. I guess it doesn't, or maybe I should set it to like -2 or something that won't get ever selected. And we'll do outcome equals compare roles p1 val, p2 val. And then let's just print it just to make sure it's working as well. Actually, we can just print it at the end of this line. I always like to just print everything just to make sure. Outcome. So we need to be able to detect. What did I not do? Oh, so I guess we need an else here then instead. Yeah. So we have 2v6. So then that should come up -1 because green would win that, of course. -1 again. And let's try one with 4v2. That should win. That's a 1. And then let's try maybe like an even matchup. Let's see if we can get 6 and 6. Let's see if we can get the same number for a 0. Oh, I gotta keep reselecting them now. to test it. I shouldn't have done that feature yet. 0. Okay, 23, 23. It worked. Perfect. Fine. Okay, so now we know whether it's a tie, draw, or whether it's a tie, player 1 wins, or player 2 wins. So, what we need next is to maybe do a... Actually, we could just do, I think, a void. Could we do void here? Public void. And then we'll just do compare roles like this, and we'll do all the functionality in this. So, okay, so I think I got this. So compare roles, you pass it in. If P1 is greater than P2, we want to do, want to change enemy dot set owner to 1, and the color reset is actually based on the owner, so we can just reset the color by calling color reset. So enemy dot set owner 1 to be, or to owner. I'm trying to think how we want to do this. So set owner to 1. No, we'll just do it like this, and then enemy dot, or we'll do color reset enemy if P1 equals P2. We don't change any of the owners, we just color reset both of them. So color reset enemy, color reset what was it again? Player? No, what did I name it? Selected. And else we would do, whoops, and then else we would do, that would be if player 2 wins, so it would be color or enemy dot, no, we would do selected dot set owner to 2, color reset, oh, we still need to color reset both of them every time actually, so I guess we could just do this for all 3. Maybe I should make something else different about that method. I don't know. I don't like that I call that the same exact part like 5 times. So this should advance the color, I believe. So we'll do 3, 1. And then that advanced... Oh, that's swapped. Okay, so hang on. That's swapped. That was not right. So let's do one that's like a blowout here. So we'll do 5 or 5v1. So it swaps them. So what we want to do is enemy.setOwner is 1. So that would mean, let's just test this again, just to be sure. So where's a cheap matchup where I can win this easily? 5v3 maybe. Why is that a 0 now? Oh, because we're not returning a value anymore. That's right. Okay, so where's that at? Outcome. Okay, we don't need that anymore. We're doing all the calculation in the comparison one, so we don't even need this, I don't think. So, basically what it should be saying, though, is color... Oh, I don't know if that made a difference, but we'll see. So if P1 is greater than P2, so let's do 4v2. It shouldn't be swapping, though, because P1 was owned. So yeah, it came out with 10 and 2, so we have 6 and 3, let's try. So it shouldn't be swapping them, it should just be... Why is it swapping? Because selected is owned by the player, we know that. It is definitely it is definitely owned by the player. Just maybe let's just let's do enemy.getOwner just to make sure these are the correct. Selected.getOwner. So let's do 5 and 3. It swaps. It shouldn't swap. Oh. Is it because, okay, it's because this else is only linked to the second one. So we actually want to do an if here. If, now that we don't have to return anything, we can just do if p2 is greater than p1, and that should do it. So what it was doing was basically swapping both of them by going to this method. So this should be fine now. And then we'll try 4v1. And now that takes over their tile. Perfect. And now what we have to do now is just shift the numbers forward. Let me check real quick on the time on this. It's been 35 minutes. Okay, this is going to be a long one, I guess. Didn't plan on it being long, but we'll finish up the shifting of the numbers, and then we'll be good. So now what we want to do is when we compare, we want to set owner, and then do enemy.setDice. Do we not have a set dice value? Tile generator, tile. So we want to do a set dice val. Public void set dice val, which is int v, I guess, because it's a value. I don't know. I'm really lazy with some of those sometimes. And then we just say dice val equals v. And then we also update the output here. So we'll do num dice, and we'll do this. So now we can set the dice values for everything. And then what we do is enemy.setDice enemy.setDice val to be do we have the dice value saved? We know p1 value, so we take selected.dice val, get dice val, and then -1. And then we do selected.setDiceVal to be 1, because it'll always reset it to 1 on that. So this means if I move forward onto it, it'll push the dice val forward. So we do 4-2. Now it's 1-3 because I took it over. There we go. That's good. Nice. And then you can't attack with 1 though. That's what I should set. The dice value actually has to be greater than 1, but I'll do that later. And then now, if it's equal, we want to do selected.setDiceVal to be 1, because it lost the attack, and it doesn't change anything for the enemy. And same thing for this. Both of them will just do the same thing if they're defending. And that should be it. No. We don't swap owners here. That's wrong. We don't do that. If you lose the battle, you just decrease to 1. So let's say we do a 1v5. Oh, well, you can't do the 1. That's exactly why you shouldn't do 1. Let's try one with 3v6. So you lose and then drop to 1. So let's just have one check real quick before we attack. T.getOwner and T.getDiceVal greater than 1. So now you can't select ones that are just 1, I think. Let's see if I need to make any other changes. Can't select that. Has to be this. No longer select that. Does that make any weird effects on anything? Like if I do this, I can't move back. If I do that and then no, okay, so we're good. We basically have like most of the functionality of the game in place now. We just need to make the dice generation at the end of each round, and we need to be able to alternate between players, which might actually take a little bit of an overhaul since I've been designing this whole thing around one player. Wow, I actually won that. That's crazy. Okay, so thanks for watching. I think we got everything done that we needed done. And I will see you in the next one, and hopefully we will get more done.